Hello, my name is Justice Barabbas, and today we're going to be talking about the human right to time travel. And right now, I'm in front of some kind of like poster thing, and I'm way high up into the mountains in Arizona, and I'm 2 miles from a place that's called uh, Rusty Camp. And I just like drove down this road that was like super rocky, and I'm basically like all the way to the end of this thing before like you just have to hike. So there's no more ability to drive on a car. There's just like this little like wooden fence, and then you walk past there, and then you can like walk way into the national park. And so pretty precarious spot, but I'm feeling good. And when I got here, I got this message, hey, you know, let's talk about forgiveness and let's talk about time travel, and let's just put that message out. So this is really important for me, something that I pray about, and it's been like an extremely healing thing for me. So I hope that it will be for you. I love you, and I'm sorry, and I thank you, and ho'o pono pono. So, what is the human right to time travel? Well, what it is being able to meditate on Christhood and being able to overcome being a finite being inside of our body and to attain a higher level of awareness in this body, in this generation, and in this life, so that we can closer connect with the I am, so that we can be in union and cooperation with everything around us and with all other people and with every single timeline, and so that everything can serve us and that we can command authority over all of the archons and over all of the light, and that it can serve us. And so the way to do that is to first recognize the dual aspect of beingness. So what does that mean? Well, here I have a little circle with a line and then another circle. And so this circle represents our birth. So this is like when we're born and we come in as an ego, as a being that's separate from everything else. And then we have a line which represents like our life and everything that this ego experiences. And then we have a death. And then our finite being, which is our ego or our body, is no longer into existence anymore. And so the human right to time travel is to sit inside of our body and to have awareness and recognition that yes, we are a finite being. We are human. We are, I'm Justice Barabbas. I have like this camera and a car, and I drove up onto this mountain, and I have like this sign thing. And then, I put flowers onto the sign to make it nice and beautiful and pretty because I love these flowers. They're so gorgeous. And to sit with that, and also to sit with our past, all the things that make up who my ego is, and also to sit in our body about our future, which is the things that we don't know, which are unknown to us in this eternal present moment, but that we are connected to and that we draw inspiration from, and that we actually have like a perception of what's to happen and what's to come and what's to occur. And this is our intentionality, our intentions, and our mindset connects us to the future time, and also our past influences our eternal present, the moment that we're in right now, and our past also influences our current way of being, and then how our past influences our current way of being, that also creates a new direction for what our potential future can bring. So I'm going to make an additional line here just so that I can help to explain, um, what this type of prayer and understanding can bring. So you can imagine like your past, if you had made different decisions, it's like a branch. It's like a different branch of like, past that you could have had. And then based on like your future, your future, actions, and even like your thoughts about the future, these things will also change your timeline, and it will create new pathways for your future leading to your death. So there's infinite decisions that you can make. There's infinite, insights that you can have. There's infinite like feelings and emotional uh, spaces that you can tap into for your future. But there's also the same thing for your past. And so the human right to time travel is all about recognition that your timeline, while, it is like what you've experienced in your timeline in your past and like what's going to come in your future, you know, these are things that influence who you are and what you'd like to become. But on the same token, these are also things that you can change and you can adjust the frequency of things that have happened in the past and things that are to come in the future. And so think about it like this. Let's say like, you had like a traumatic event or like, you made a mistake or like something bad happened. Or let's just pretend even like, you did something really good, like that you're super proud of, in your past, right? Something bad happened or even something good happened in your past. Well, here's the thing. You can get like really caught up in that. You can get caught up in all the good things, which creates like an ego identification with everything that's good, and then it kind of gets you stuck. Or you can have an ego identification in things that happened in the past that were really bad, and then that can also get you stuck. So here's the thing. On the good side, let's just pretend like, I was in the military, and let's pretend like I was like a decorated, awesome officer, and I did all these great things, and I became a sergeant, and I'm like all about the military, and like I'm all about like, hey, that reminds me about a time in my service when I blah blah blah. And like you're always living in the past, and your ego is always identifying with like the positive aspects of your past. Well, what that's going to do is get you locked into a paradigm where you're only going to be thinking that way about yourself, and you'll be locked into I am XYZ adjective. I am, this thing that I've done before. Same token with the bad. Let's say like something bad happened to you. Let's say maybe you did something bad, and now you just identify with that bad thing in your past. That thing is also going to work the same way. Now, in the eternal present where we are right now, you're going to be identifying with maybe these bad vibrations. That's going to get you locked in to a negative wavelength, and it's going to affect your future. Same thing good, same thing bad. So the idea here in the human right to time travel, the idea is recognizing, yeah, you're a finite being inside of this body. You have a name, you have an ego, you have a past. But here's the thing. You can tap in to, I'm so thankful and grateful for the good things that have happened in my life. I'm so thankful and grateful for those experiences. And I am. And I cleanse myself of those things. And I don't have to identify with those things. But what I can do is I can enjoy this present moment, not tied to any kind of past, and just be here now in gratitude. And the bad things, you can say, hey, there's some bad things that had happened in my past. I'm so grateful for those bad things that have happened because I've learned a lesson from that. And so I am grateful in this eternal present moment. And I am so grateful for the contrast that those bad things had provided to me so that I can enjoy so many great things that will be happening in the future. And so when you come back to that I am as a finite being, what you're tapping into is you're tapping into the Christhood, the circle, also known as the monad by the Greeks, also known as the Tao for the Eastern tradition, also known as God in our Western culture, and also known as the All. That's from the scripture with Jesus of Nazareth and Mary of Magdala. And when you tap into the eternal present, in the gratitude, in the union, in the simple beingness of the I am, and when you tap into that everything in your past and everything in your future is serving you, then you're able to stay in the Christhood. Then you're able to be open to all of the things that the all, the Tao, the monad, God, Christhood, the universe, your higher self, you'll be able to connect with those things that this wants to bring into your life. A huge part of that, a huge part of allowing for these things to come into your life, to receive that blessing and to receive that gratitude and to be in connection with the higher self is to also be in connection with your higher self about your past and to balance that with staying present in the eternal moment and in the eternal now. So, what I'd like to do is always go back to forgiveness. When you can forgive the good, when you can forgive the bad, when you can be in gratitude in the moment, and when you can be without fear, without any pain, then you're open to a blessing and a receiving of the bad or the lessons, the contrast, and also the good, the joyful expansion that the Christhood, monad God, the all, the Tao, wants to bring forth into your finite being for it to experience through you. So, in a nutshell, the human right to time travel is all about connecting with the present moment, to feel the feeling of gratitude for the right now, to feel the feeling of beingness right now, to feel it in your tummy, to know that in your head, to connect the heart to the mind, and to be in this eternal present, in a center that will align you with your higher self's purpose, and where you will receive forgiveness to be in balance for your past and in the present moment. So, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.